talks about the lights in the woods here. That's a common thing. We see these orbs moving through the trees. They're large-looking things. Now, what they're associated with, I'm not going to jump to conclusions here. If it's spirit activity, it has something to do with the Bigfoot sightings, or something natural because of the rocks, the quartz, the crystal out there. But it's something that's commonly seen throughout this area here. A lot of Bigfoot sightings in the area, obviously, as you're getting here. We've had 3 major events in the last 3 months. Actually started with a deputy sheriff out of Halifax, obviously doesn't want his name used. He actually saw prints and had this event happen to him, and that's the hike we're taking today, where we had multiple events happen on there, but we've actually found prints in 3 different spots. He actually contacted us. We went out there. Me being the great hunter I am, I make the wrong turn on a trail. Instead of making a right, I make a left, end up in the wrong spot. I find a print in the totally wrong area there. Cast that. After contacting him, my phone not working in the woods, coming back, next day I actually find the prints he's talking about, and I was actually able to cast a couple of those. Got 1 decent one out of it. While I was there, something threw a rock at me. Nobody was in the woods with me. When I come out here to do these things, I wear a sidearm. It's not smart to throw rocks at people wearing guns in the woods. It was very strange. It kind of threw me. I actually had to dig the print out. Successfully got it out. It's at the museum. After we published all this stuff, it brought a lot of Bigfooters in. We had this couple from South Carolina came in, Bigfooting. They're down here to do it, stay at the park, came to the museum. They were a very cheerful young couple. After going out the next day to spend a couple of nights here, next morning I drove in, getting ready for this event to check in with the rangers, and I went down the spot on them. It was a very hot time. It was about 100 degrees then. And I see this guy, Eric, standing on the side of the road. He's shaking, so I'm figuring it's heat exhaustion. I was kind of concerned for him. After talking to him, I realized he's telling me they actually had a sighting. They saw this thing. So I pull over, I put on my backpack, I hike in with him and his fiance, and we actually have the interview back in the museum. You can see it on our YouTube channel. But they actually saw something, dark-haired, a large creature, roughly around 9.5, 10 feet. They continued down the trail after seeing this thing move to the side, and that's where they actually found prints. They casted the prints. We actually didn't get any of those because he casted those. But we do have photos of them and an interview. While they were casting the prints, and this is where we're going today too, this is down off Fishing Creek, something was whooping at them from across the river. He was trying to convince his fiancée that it was a deer, and I was kind of, she's looking at me and I'm looking at her going, no, it's not a deer. It was kind of crazy. This is a hotbed. It's amazing the activity we get here. Now, John's going to be getting up now. I'm going to let him talk so I don't steal his thunder here. Hopefully the mic stays on for you. We'll see how we do, but you're loud enough, you'll have no problem. But this is John Harris. This gentleman's had a lot of different things. A lot of his events have actually been up in Virginia. I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell him the stories he's got.
Okay, appreciate
Wish you luck with the mic.
Okay, appreciate it. My name is John Harrison. Yeah, I live up in Lawrenceville, Virginia, which is maybe about 45 miles or so from here. Takes about an hour to drive here, on the back roads. I'm a truck driver. I've been driving a truck for the last 23, 24 years or so. And we have been having a lot of strange activity around my house. I haven't actually seen something that said, well, I can say that that's a Bigfoot, but it's a lot of things that happen. My stepson saw it, so I'm actually go along with it. But starting out maybe about 23, 24 years ago, me and my ex-wife were coming home and had my 2 sons with me. They were small, and I backed in front of the house. We went shopping one night, so I backed in front of the house, got in the car to open the door up, and then come back and get the kids out of the car. Heard something in the woods beside my house, made a noise, a low, deep growl, like, "Rrrr." I jumped back in the car, and I asked her, I said, what was that? And she just looked at me, and she used to work at nights, and I said, have you ever heard something like that before? And she said, yeah. I said, well, why you never told me? She said, hey, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So I got my nerve together, went in the house, unlocked the door, got my kids, got them in the house, went and grabbed my 12 gauge, went outside, let off 3 rounds, and I didn't hear anything run off. So, over the years, my kids grew up, they used to be outside playing. And where my house is, it's a small 3-bedroom house, but it's woods all around my house. Right across the road from me is a farm. It's an old man that lived over there by himself and had a big cow pasture out front. And that man, he's died now, and they planted little pine trees out there. The pine trees now are probably, almost as tall as this building. But like I was saying, my children, as they were growing up, they would be outside the yard playing. Several times they ran in the house, said they heard noises in the woods. So I'm just saying, it's just kids, their wild imagination or whatever. So as the years went on, me and my wife, we split up. I got a new girlfriend. She moved in with me, and I used to drive long distance, and then I started driving. Well, I was home every night, but I'd leave home 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And she would tell me that when I leave home in the morning, we have dogs. They're not house dogs. They're outside dogs. They run loose and everything. And she said a lot of times when I leave, the dogs would just go crazy, barking, and they run out in the field across from me or one in the woods or whatever. And she said, I hear noises in the woods, and I said, hey, you just crazy. You live in the country now, you're gonna hear, it's deer out here. I've seen bear. I actually saw a bear 2 weeks ago out there. It's all sort of animals out there. So she said, no. Then one time she called me, and she said that it was the fall of the year. She had the windows open. She heard something sound like something walking right in the edge of the woods by the house. She said it sounded like a person walking. I said, hey, it's probably just a deer or something. No, I know what I'm talking about. It sounded like a person walking. And I'm like, okay, so one morning about 3 o'clock or so, I left home, and she never calls me when I leave home in the morning. So she called me. I hadn't gotten 5 miles from the house. She called me. She said that the dogs got to barking. So my stepson Tyler, he got up, opened the door up, and he just froze. And like I said, across the road from my house, it's a farm. It must have died. It's a farm over there, and
Yeah.
hello.
I think you just lost the breaker again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but across the road is a farm over there. So evidently the moon must have been shining something. It's a fence right along there, and he said that he saw something walking out there, and he saw it, and I think it's still dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay.
It's on now.
Okay. All right, and
We'll just have to go back and forth from GFI to GFI.
yeah, so he's opened the door and he just froze. Pop again. Yeah, but he said that what it was, it was taller than, he said, taller than John. That's me. Taller than John, bigger than me, covered in hair, walking on 2 legs. And he says it wasn't a bear. He said a bear, which we know a bear, if they stand on 2 legs, they kind of wobble. This was walking. He said it was walking, kind of swinging his arms and everything, and turned around and looked at him, and just kept on down because where that pond, the farm is a pond down the hill, and it was walking toward that pond. So they called me. I came back and with the tractor trailer, and I came back and I looked around, didn't see anything, so I left. I just got blowing the air horn. I said, well, maybe I'll just scare off whatever it was. So after that, I started trying to pay a little more attention to what was going on around the farm, around the house and everything. So one night, because sometimes you can go outside, you can hear all these noises out in the woods. Sometimes you can hear that whoop whoop, something like that, or you hear that howl every now and then. That I guess it's like a moaning howl or something, something like that. So one night I went outside. The dogs wasn't barking or anything. It was about 1 o'clock or so in the morning. So I had one of those handheld spotlights. So I was shining in the field across the road from my house. And I saw some deer here. And I'm shining. I see some deer. And the deer, when the spotlight would hit it, they would just keep on grazing, just keep on. And I shined on, and you can see the old farmhouse across that the old man used to live in. I shined on this side. I saw a deer. I shined on the other side. I saw some eyes, but they were up tall. And I'm like, I was just going through the motions. I was like, oh, that's not a deer. So I shined back, and when I shined back, it was like the spotlight hit the eyes. Now all I could see was the eyes, but they were up tall, and it just went, like it shocked, like it was in shock when the light hit in the eyes, and it took off walking from my right to left toward the house. So I shined on the other side of the house to see if it came behind the house. I didn't see it. I shined back on this side of the house, and I saw the eyes. It went down. It peeped around inside the house. Now, like I said, no, that house is probably far from here, not all the way to the woods, those far woods down there, but it's a good ways off. I can see the eyes, and it looked around the house, then ducked back behind the house. So, no, I went in the house. I said, no, that's just something wasn't right with that. So the next day I went walking over to that farm and everything. Like I said, they had posted signs up there, but I was walking out there anyway, and saw something. I thought it might have been a track, but I wasn't sure. So then that Sunday night, I was at home, and we had the TV. The TVs were off because usually have TVs going or something, but the TVs were off. I could hear noises and just weird noises, and I said, "What's that?" And my girlfriend said, "That's the noises I tell you I hear at night." And I said, "Well, I don't know what that is." I said, "I done shine lights in this thing's face. I done ticked him off or something." So I told her, I said, "You get your son, you go to your sister's house." I said, "I'm going to get my truck." I said, I'm going to Norfolk. We just get away from here tonight. So a couple of weeks later, me and my nephew went walking behind my house back in the woods. Saw a tree back there, had scratch marks on it. And I said, "That's strange." So we kept on walking in the woods back there. They had cut some timber back there, but it was still no real grown up. And we walked back there, and we heard like a limb snap. And I said, "Did you hear that?" He said, "Yeah." So we kept walking a little bit further. We heard another limb snap, then heard something walk off in the woods and went, shh, 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 shh. It was walking, it wasn't running, it was walking real fast. And so I walked in, I looked in the woods, I didn't see anything. I said, "All right, I don't know what that was, but hey, let's get up out of here though." So we left, came back and told my girlfriend, and then my daughter and my niece, they wanted to go. We walked in the woods again, heard the same thing again, but it walked off in a different direction. So then as we came back around through the woods, we started noticing these tree structures. And I got a bunch of pictures of them, some pictures of them right there, and anyone knows cares to take a look at them. And it was just some, and I said, I know we'd had storms, so some trees had been, laid over, but these just looked strange because it looked like something had made them. It was a couple of them that was maybe about 10 feet high. It looked like a tree was snapped over. Another had limbs, laid up against another tree. At the bottom, it had some trees, they were saplings, maybe about yay big around or so, but they were intertwined within each other. They had come around and not just fell over. It looked like something that kind of intertwined them a little bit. So, like I said, we just started hearing, paying more attention to noises and everything, and one night, several nights, we used to could stand on the porch and hear, once it get dark, I could hear that howling noise way back behind the house in the woods. And I could stand there, and within 2 or 3 hours, you could just hear back behind the house. Next thing you know, you could hear them other side. Then sometimes you could hear one make a noise like a, kind of loud and long. Then you hear another one way on further, almost like they were communicating. So, like I said, I don't know if it was a Bigfoot, but it was mighty strange. And sometimes you hear, just hear the whoops, and every once in a while you hear a whistle or something. But there where all those tree structures was at next to my house, that wasn't my property, but they cut all people came in, they cut all the trees down, just clear cut everything, and haven't heard anything last maybe about 2 years or so, but yeah, I don't know, but it was just mighty strange. There was other things that went on too, but that was just just kind of rough idea what we used to hear and everything. And but one time my girlfriend said that she had pulled up in the yard, and she said she saw something, people ran up behind the house. And she said it was big and black, and it peeped around the house like this, and she backed up, and she tried to go around the house. She had my nieces with her, and she said that when she went around the house, she could see the trees moving like something that ran down in the woods. So when I got home from work that day, I went around to where she said she saw something, and right behind the house, I just was out there the day before. I have a concrete sidewalk right behind my house, and right on the edge of that, it was a spot of grass where like something had twisted around on one foot. And so I just walked down the woods where she saw some of that, and I saw it looked like a track, had 5 toes, and I had on my work boots. And speaking of Bigfoot, I got a Bigfoot. This is a 14 right here. And my had a size 14 work boot on, and I could not make an indentation in the ground as deep as that track was. And it was bigger, a little bit longer than my foot and a little bit wider, so, but that's right there where she saw something go at, but in the woods, so like I said, we took these pictures and I brought them to the museum, showed them to Steve and his wife and everything, and then we just started noticing things, but like I said, last couple of years we haven't heard anything, and I kind of miss it because it's something that, something that you're not supposed to be hearing, and you're hearing, and really you want to know what's going on with it, so. Any questions or anything? Okay. All right, I appreciate it.
There was a raccoon incident too.
Huh?
There was a raccoon incident too.
Oh.
We'll go across on the porch and we heard a raccoon. We started the raccoons riding down.
He heard something one night, and we went out. We went outside, and like I said, where my house is a hill. I'm on not all the way to the top, but close to the top of the hill, and the woods were still thick, and we could hear something. It sounded like a raccoon, like a small animal. Something had it, and it was going on down the hill. You could hear it going through the woods. It was fighting. You could hear it struggling and fighting, and then as it went on down the hill, you could just hear the life go on out of it. I mean, it was real weird. Like, you could just hear it fighting and everything, and then just heard it stop making noise and everything. Yeah, but I didn't hear like a dog, no coyote or anything like that. I didn't hear a dog growling or anything like that. Just heard that. Yeah. Okay, and that's about it. There was other things going on and everything, but but that's the gist of it right there, though.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I appreciate it.